Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War. And today I have your Pure Faction and Deathless for level 500, the Warrens. So got this done today, right now. So this is what I did. That's all I can show y'all is what worked for me. So there may be other teams out there, there may be other ways out there, but this is what worked for me today. Pretty much on my first try. I think it took me 2 tries on the Pure Faction, but first try on the Deathless, and what you're going to want to do is use High King Iron Gut. You can get his stats up to 1,000 with this right here. So the team I went with for Deathless was Mountain Crusher, High King Iron Gut, Leprechaun, and Vashtagon. Before that, I was using Guard's Avatar. Is that his name? Guard's Avatar and Sir Quentin Hadley. I used that up until about 200. I did Horde level 177 because I knew the Warrens was a little bit more difficult than other ones. It didn't really turn out that way, but I thought it was more difficult, so I went up to 177 Horde level. That's where you get like a potion and a stat right at the same time about. So I would go 155, 177, something like that. And then as far as power potions go, I had to get like 5 or 6, something like that. I had bought 4 or 5, and then I had to buy one more. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6 or what. And then, of course, I have the Associated Kingdom to level 15, which is Pan's Veil. So what you're going to want to do here is just use you're using the Vashtagon to curse. So every time you get a brown match, you get a random curse against the other team. And the more you kill, the more devours you do on the other team, the more chance you're going to curse what you need to curse. So you're just going to cast the Leprechaun. The Leprechaun's most likely going to get up the Mountain Crusher. You're going to cast the Mountain Crusher. Mountain Crusher's going to get up High King Iron Gut. All the while, you're matching brown, cursing. Use your High King Iron Gut to devour something that's been cursed. And then you rinse and repeat. Cast the Leprechaun, cast the Mountain Crusher, cast the High King Iron Gut, cursing all the while. Devour something that was cursed. Keep going and going and going. You're eventually going to have 1,000 to each stat. I used Titan class with Rock Solid so my hero wouldn't die. And I did it Deathless on my first try, so wasn't too bad. Just devoured the whole other team while cursing them and using the Rock Solid barrier to not die. Went pretty smooth, was pretty easy to do. With all those extra stats, you should have an instant devour with your High King Iron Gut or something very close to it. So, yeah, here we go with the Pure Faction. I went with, I don't know, other things could work for sure. This is what worked for me. I tested a few different teams. I tested one of each, and I decided I did not like the bunny corn. So I took off the bunny corn, even though I was thinking in my head, the bunny charms, right? And like deep in a delve and like level 500, those charm hits are going to hit pretty hard. But I decided I didn't like the bunny, so I took that off. So then I had like Lapina Knight, 2 Lunas, and a Trickster. So I did that on like 300 or 400, and I was like, I really don't need this Trickster. I got the Explode Potion, I got the Enchant Potion. I don't really need this Trickster, so I just did another Luna. So I ended up deciding on Lapina Knight with 3 Lunas behind it. Lapina Knight's just like my tank, just another color, just something different. I didn't want like 4 Lunas. I wanted some sort of tank that would grab a different color. And Luna's cool, Lapina Knight's cool too. She'll cast and then give a random status effect to your whole team. And then Luna does the same thing kind of. It's like either 2 positives to your team or 2 negatives to the other team. So with all that going on, you got a whole bunch of like positive and negative status effects going on. All the while like hitting their whole team with your Lunas. So my strategy was like Lapina Knight got switched down to the 3rd slot there, but I was like, okay, my Lapina Knight's going to be my tank, and then I'm just going to cast Lunas over and over and over and try to get like some good status effects on my team and some bad status effects on their team. Luna also has like a good 3rd trait where if you match yellow, you get a little explosion. And then Lapina Knight has like skull reduction and dodge, so not like a great tank. She only has like 25% skull reduction and like 20% dodge, but that's better than anything else that you could use as a Pure Faction team. So that's what I went with. Then I'd be you're casting those Lunas back to back to back. You're hoping for like maybe a Death Mark or a Fairy Fire or some Silence or a Barrier for your team, an Enchant for your team, something like that to happen. And even if it doesn't, you'll still be okay. You're doing damage, you're doing damage, you're doing damage to all. And stuff is happening, whatever it may be, the whole while. Maybe you get a Hunter's Mark, and then you start taking Skulls. Maybe you get Entangle, and now they can't hit you back. Maybe you get Silence, and now they can't hit you back. Maybe you get Barrier for your whole team. Like, you're going to get positive stats effects, you're going to get negative stats effects for the other team, and it could just come down to luck eventually. Like, even if you don't have as high of stats as me, and even if you have bad luck, like, eventually it's going to happen. I would say within 2 or 3 or 4 tries, you should get it just by, like, what status effects you get and stuff. You may get lucky with some death marks. You may get lucky with a bunch of silences and entangles and stuff. So I would just, keep trying until you get it. But here I am, 9th place on the leaderboard. Got it done. The reason you want to do this whenever it comes around is you got 3 days, you got extra potions, extra stats. It's easiest to do this on a weekend during the event, so hopefully if you don't have the warrens done, you're doing it right now. You also get a pet, which can help you with your kingdom level and power. You get more renown, which I got a stat. I got my next stat by getting this one done. I got another HP. I also got my... I got 2 different stats from getting this one done, actually. I got a stat in the underworld. I think it was an armor. And then I got a stat in the up top from Pan's Veil, getting Pan's Veil to level 20, because I got the second pet that you need for level 20. So doing the underworld is really important, mostly later in the game. So if you're like level 500 or 1,000, you probably don't need to be doing this. But if you're like 12, 50 and up, you should probably be doing this weekend. If you don't have the warrens done, what are you doing? You should probably be doing this weekend, because now's the time, and it's going to be a very long time before the warrens comes through on the weekend again, probably years. So get that second pet for that power level. Get that renown for some stats in the underworld, or that counts for your whole account and everything. You see me there upgrading my pet and everything, which gets me my second pet fully upgraded for Pan's Veil. Actually got a orb there and some gems. Just showing you everything you get from doing this, basically, now that the teams are over. But yeah, I would use High King Irongut, who can get up to like 1,000 HP, 1,000 attack, and 1,000 armor by devouring. I would use some sort of High King Irongut for your Deathless team. Then I would use, I went with Lapina Knight and 3 Lunas for my Pure Faction team. I went with 177 Horde level. I went with like 5 or 6 power potions. That just means you bought all the potions up to the last potion, and then you bought the last potion like 4 or 5, 6 times, something like that. Because you can buy the last potion as many times as you want, and you get a little bit of extra stats for doing that and extra turns and everything. Got it done on my second try, the Pure Faction. Got the Deathless done on my first try. And like I said, I used Guard's Avatar until like level 200, and then I switched to the High King Irongut team. Just cursing and devouring, cursing and devouring. So there's my level 20 for Pan's Veil. And yeah, I hope this helped y'all out. Live stream tomorrow, 10 a.m. EST. Please be there. Like, share, subscribe. Consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel, comment below. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.